Welcome to another installment of Kang Tales, and today I want to talk about two short exchanges that I had in Norway. So the first exchange involves me and CYC, and the second exchange involves me and the Japanese team. On Saturday morning, Donna and we had a breakfast at the hotel, and it was a nice breakfast. Breakfast had about 20 different cold cuts of meat, cheeses, pastries, fresh squeezed juice, and all that. So it was wonderful. It's a really good breakfast that we had every morning. But anyways, so as I was picking up my cold cuts for the morning, I saw a really big guy next to me, and oh, it's CYC, Carl Christensen. And I have spoken with him on Facebook before. A very nice guy, answered my questions and whatnot. But it's my first time seeing him in person, and he's a really big guy. So he's over 160 kilos in body weight. So anyways, I touch him on the shoulder like this and say, Carl, I really hope you win today. And he looked a little dejected, and he said, oh, don't count on it. It just shows some humility, and is such a strong lifter. He's obviously now the best lifter in the world. He has the 1,200 kilo total, and he had that amazing 485 squat. So he improved 10 kilos from Worlds. So in Norway, Stavanger, he squatted 475, and at the recent European Championship, he squatted 485 kilos. So he's continually improving, and again, a very humble guy, very nice guy. And I got to speak with him again at the banquet, and I say, oh, Carl, how much did you squat prior to the 475 that you hit at the competition? And this is again the same night. And he said, oh, I squatted 450 kilos. So he squatted at about 95% for a single. So that just goes to show that you don't have to go crazy in the gym to hit a good squat at the competition. And keep in mind that he hasn't missed any squats except his very first squat. So out of all these competitions that he's done, nationally, internationally, he's only missed one squat, and that was the very first squat he did, according to the Norwegian website. Yeah, so super nice guy. Really like Carl, and he also remembered my last name, so I thought that was really cool. And he stated, how'd you do at the competition? And yeah, I did okay. And again, it was a good exchange, a very humble guy, and really a good ambassador to our sport. So no one has ever hit 1,200 kilos under the IPF. So I'm not counting the Cup Titans or any of that, since again, those guys are drugged to the gills. But yeah, first 1,200 kilo total. Again, super nice guy, and I can't say enough as far as how humble he is, and how nice he is, and how approachable he is. Again, super nice guy. That same night before the banquet, we had like a reception. I got to speak with the Japanese team, and very friendly, and some of them have different degrees of how they can speak English, but I was speaking to Hiroyuki Isagawa. So he's extremely strong lifter. He told me during our exchange that his best bench press was 205 kilos at 60 kilos. So extremely strong bench press, and he's been in the game for a long time. I believe he won his first IPF Worlds in 1982 or around there, so that's even before I was born. So he's been in this game a long time, and he actually won his last Open Championship in 2006 in Stavanger. So I was speaking to him, and obviously I knew beforehand that the Japanese, they bench press 7 days a week, according to my friend Toru Ashihara. But I was speaking with Mr. Isagawa about the training methods. I mentioned that American lifters, some of them bench only once per week, and when I told him that, he's like, no, not enough. I was name dropping. I was Daiki Kodama, Yuki Fukushima, Toshihiko Noda, and all that. So he was impressed, and he confirmed with me that they all bench press 7 days a week. And also he mentioned that Yuki Fukushima, he's pressed 300 kilos at 83 kilos. That he benches 14 times a week. So, and I asked him, oh, how does Yuki Fukushima recover from his bench training? He said, oh no, he doesn't care about his body, so he just bench presses that often, 14 times a week. So it was really cool, and I actually got a picture with Mr. Isagawa back in 2008 when I went to Canada to spot and load for Open Worlds in 2008. And super nice guy. And during 2008, I got pictures with a lot of people that I admired. For example, Sei Sung Ting, I got a picture with him, and I got a picture with a lot of the Taiwanese, Japanese, and actually 2008 was when the Russian team. I believe they were still banned, so no Russians in 2008. But nonetheless, it was really great. I got to meet Yaroslav Olek and a lot of lifters that I admire because they're so strong and they've been at it for such a long period of time. So you'll notice that a lot of Russian lifters, they'll burn out pretty fast. Who knows why? I mean, they always have a new crop of lifters coming up. But yeah, I mean, you'll notice that a lot of the Japanese and Taiwanese, they've been along for a long time. So they've been continually competing internationally every year at Worlds. So yeah, so those were the two exchanges that I had. And again, most people are very friendly at IPF Open Worlds. And again, some of them have limited usage of English. So you have to realize that you may not be able to get all the information that you want, but nonetheless you can build good camaraderie and you can you speak with a lot of different lifters from across the world. Also, I got to meet my friend Donnie Mayanto. He's an Indonesian lifter. Again, he speaks very little English, but I got to meet him, got a picture with him, and extremely strong lifter. He actually got the gold in Norway for the 74 kilo deadlift, so extremely strong. And he used actually a hook grip, a mixed grip hook grip. So I thought that was very interesting how he did that. But when I'm talking to him online, he claims that he does all three lifts every day. So I found that interesting as well. But again, it's very difficult to communicate with international lifters, especially if they don't have a really strong ability to use English. So it's frustrating at times, but in general, you can get the idea that most successful IPF lifters, at least internationally, they train very often. So they're either training not every day, or maybe they're training the lifts 3 times per week or whatnot. So they're training very often. So it's no secret really. They're using the frequency and they're controlling their intensity to become stronger. And again, I don't know of any successful lifter that doesn't lift multiple times per week on a consistent basis. So of course there are exceptions to the rule, but again, in general, internationally, you have lifters lift multiple times per week. And again, this is from first-hand experience. Also from reading various pieces of information online and whatnot. So hopefully those two exchanges were interesting. So thanks for watching and stay tuned for next week.